G'day everybody, how are you going today? It is so good to see you. In this video, I want to share with you one of the biggest mistakes that I have made in my business. And it cost me a lot of money. Yes, indeed, mistakes do happen. We see them happening all over the place, all of the time. And this mistake happened in the publishing arm of my business. And I have published so many things that eventually my number had to come up. I mean, let's face it, I've made things like my little book, which came after my big book. And this came in 3 different jackets. And you've got to worry about everything. Every word, every paragraph, every page layout, every picture. Absolutely everything has to be gotten perfectly right. And a few years ago, I raised the stakes pretty high, so I had to make sure that I got things right when I created this particular product here. Of course, this was my 2018 calendars. And back then, I did a black and white and a color edition, as you can see, all with their separate images. But there was something a little bit special about this particular year. The year before, 2016, I had purchased my Hasselblad, and all of the images in these 2 calendars were captured by the Hasselblad 2016-2017 when this was put together for release in 2018. Production has to wrap up on these things around the middle of the year to ensure you have them ready for sale in time. But what was special about these was I actually contacted Hasselblad and said to them, I've made these calendars completely with Hasselblad. Do you mind if we create a little notification here on the calendars saying captured with Hasselblad? And Hasselblad said absolutely yes. And the images from this particular year, well, they were Hasselblad spectacular. And maybe it's time for something like that to happen again sometime soon. Here's the 2020. Love this. You've got to make sure it's all spot on. That's what you've got to do. And of course, one of my favorite images shot with the Nikon Z 50mm 1.8. Check out the video about it up there. Blew my mind when I was playing with this lens for the first time. But you've got to make sure every day, every date, every public holiday, all the spelling, everything's correct. I've done it time and time again. This is this year's edition. Thank you very much to everybody for supporting the calendar. Absolutely wonderful. You've just got to get everything right. You can't make mistakes. Here is one of my favorite calendars that I've created over the ages. And this is, as you can see, the Melbourne A Love Affair Big Calendar 2017. This thing is epic. If we jump over to the back, you can see that it was 841mm by 653. So that's almost a meter when it's opened up. It's hot, it's yummy, it's black and white, it's 99.9% recyclable, etc., etc. Absolutely love this. And what's amazing about it is when you open it up, it's just absolutely, can't even fit it in the frame, but absolutely enormous. But again, you've got to get every single thing absolutely correct. You can't make a mistake. You just got to do it. Happy New Year, by the way. Can't wait for 2022. Let me know if it's worth doing one of these again. And what's great about this particular calendar, the way that I've made it, is you can actually roll it up, and I'm trying to show you on camera here, so you can see it happening for real. It's very hard to do it up high, but you can roll it up, and we can send it in a tube, and it works completely well. I sent a few overseas back in the day. Back in the day, my YouTube channel wasn't so big, so overseas was not so big. And it's much cheaper to send these that way. Anyway, let me know whether you'd be excited by this thing, the giant black and white calendar. Created so many things, and they've all got to have every single element correct. Here's the coloring book. Not so many words in that, but there still are some. Everything's got to be spot on, or it doesn't work out. And this here, the epic investment that went into this book here, the Sydney book, one of the 3 jackets, far out. This was 23 years in the making, 23 years of me traveling to Sydney, finding the shots, making it all happen. Imagine if you just get one little bit wrong. This thing costs more than a couple of small cars. Ridiculous, because I produced them in the thousands. Oh my God. Well, what else? Well, there's this here. This is one of my favorites. This is the journal. Has the lovely elastic to keep it closed. Has the ribbon so you don't lose your page, and places to write. This has been a great success. It's sold in the thousands, and I think I've got around 1,000 left. And then it's gone. And it inspired me, being such a success, to make diaries based on the same form factor. Here is the 2017 diary. As you can see, same size, same form factor. It's got all the same sorts of things going on. Lovely stuff. I had the odd centerfold here and there, and we even put these cute little graphics in here to sort of complement the pictures. At the time, I had a graphic designer working with me part-time, and this is why we were printing so much stuff back then. So what went wrong? I'm glad you asked. As you can see, I've created so much stuff, it had to go wrong eventually. Here we have it. Exhibit A, the 2018 diary. 27 years of publishing, hundreds of thousands of things published, thousands of pieces of paper, thousands, millions of pieces of paper, millions and millions of words have been published that we have created, we have edited, we have looked through. So everything about this was just the same. Everything was normal. Everything looked good. So what went wrong? Well, what's our process? All of these things that you've seen get proofed anywhere between 25 and 50 times as they go to the end of their production phase. And when we say we've finally signed off, it probably gets proofed around about 10 times that final version. So what went wrong? Well, this thing was completely proofed by me. It was completely proofed by my assistant at the time, and it was completely proofed also by the graphic designer. How did we get it wrong? Well, what did we do? Let me tell you. The product arrived, we got it in its thousands, we put them on the website, they started to ship, and we started sending them out to retail stores. About 6 weeks later, I got a phone call to our head office. Hey Matt, I think I've got a calendar with a bit of a problem. Can you send me another one? And I went, yep. What's the problem? Oh, we're missing a week. A pit dropped in my stomach, and full well knowing how these things are produced, you don't just miss a week in one, you're missing a week in all of them. I said, thank you so much. We will be in touch. Let me see what's going on. I ran downstairs to our storeroom, opened a couple of boxes, and lo and behold, every single one was the same. We had somehow dropped a week. Now here's the thing, when you're proofing, what you're doing is you're looking at, 13, 14, 15, 16, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, M-O-N-D-A-Y, August, A-U-G-U-S-T, and you're just looking at all the detail, and you're looking at the detail on each page. But what happened is we went from August 19th, then there was this spread here, which I think what happened is the spread that should have been here got swapped for this one. And we jumped a whole week. This is the week here. And we jumped to the 27th of August. So there is the missing week. The 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th, gone. I think what happened when we were doing the page layout, it's actually quite easy to, in InDesign, just pick up a whole page and just move it around. And I think that's how it disappeared. That's my best guess. And just to show you very quickly how easy it is to move pages around, here is InDesign. This is what InDesign looks like. It's a great piece of software. I've been using it, I think, since 1999 or 2000, somewhere around then. Here we go, volume 1.2. All will be revealed. But as I said, this is me putting together the new book. If you have a look over here on the left where we can jump between pages, it's very easy to literally just pull a page out and move it like that. It's moved. Or it's as simple as you just delete it. I don't know why the designer might have done that, but that's the only other way it could have disappeared. But as I said, it's probably been replaced with another page. It's very easy to do. all three of us managed to miss what was going on, because there was nothing wrong, there was just something missing. And unfortunately, the thing that was missing was pretty critical. And the thing that was missing was replaced with this spread. So it just happened to be enough of a full stop, enough of an illusion, enough of a jump that we all missed it. I quickly thought to myself, maybe it's a printing error, maybe it's not our fault, maybe everything was in place when we sent it to the printer. But here's the thing, the printer sends you proofs. So once you have signed off on your files and sent them to print, you can't touch them, nothing can be changed, only the printer can do it. They then send you proofs. And indeed, with much sadness, as I scrambled to look at the proofs, the page was missing in the proofs, and we missed it again in the proofs. This was 100% our mistake. And here we can see the final InDesign file that was put together on the 23rd of the 6th, 2017 at 2:46 p.m. This is a beautiful creation. Lots of gorgeous pictures, lovely design, great little cute elements, just really, really lovely. And this is the actual file that the printer gets. So we can see on screen, we have their color bars to that's for them to make sure that their printer is printing correctly. And we have the bullseyes to make sure the plates are lining up, and we have all the crop marks and the trim marks and all that sort of stuff. These are the finished files. And we go through to the time in question. And here it is. August 19th. And somehow this page got replaced and we go to August 27th. There is a whole week missing. Otherwise, gorgeous, lovely, and had to be recalled. It's pretty devastating. So I was left with, I think, about 500 to 1,000 of these things already having gone out early in the season. I rang up each store. I said, look, we've got a problem. We need to recall this product. I had never recalled anything in my previous 3 decades. Most of the stores said, absolutely, these things happen, no problems, we'll deal with it. They were professionals, it was all fine. But one store, I loved their approach. They said to me, Matt, you know what? People love your work. We're going to let them know that this 1 week is missing. And if they still want to buy it, they can. And they did. They did it, and they sold all of the 50 diaries that they had that way. So I did manage to sell a few, but let me assure you that got nowhere near recouping the costs of the 2018 diary. And look, it was a pretty large financial cost, and of course we had to credit everybody and so on and so forth. But really, to me, the bigger issue that I was far more worried about was the reputational one. I'd been doing printing and publishing over 25 years, supplying most of the great retailers around Melbourne with my stuff, and now I had the situation where potentially we could make a mistake. Now, since then, in the intervening years, 2018, 19, 20, and now 21, we've published about 5 new things, and our track record continues to be fabulous. So we have survived. But you certainly don't want to do these things too many times, do you? Which segues me over to the fact that I am now working on the next publication. And this is what we call a dummy. And this is the size and the shape of the next book that I would like to do. Now, I was planning on having it out for the end of this year. I'm not quite so sure, because I wanted to be heavily involved with capturing and documenting the production of this book, because it's being made here locally in Australia. So we might wait until the COVID thing clears itself up a little bit. It has also put the production of our calendar here on hold, because I also wanted to document that. Production has been halted for 2 or 3 weeks. Like we said a few months ago, if you'd like to get your name in every copy of the calendar, please make your order by Sunday the 5th of September. I might not be able to document and share with you actually how these things get made. It's pretty fun. Please let me know in the comments below, have you ever made some major errors like this, which has just been a nightmare for you financially or reputationally? Or perhaps you've dropped a lens and broken it in half, and that has been a major error for you. Please let me know in the comments below if you are so inclined. I would love to hear your war stories. All right. So fantastic to see you here today, and if this is your first time here, gosh, I would love to see you again. So please do subscribe, please share, and please like. It is so good for the video. Please don't forget channel memberships. That helps us stay independent. Hats and apparel.